Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
Oh, Madhura Gatri, sweet-limbed girl, when will my hair stand on end of ecstasy? When cloves and guvak into your lotus-like mouth. I repeat the verse. Oh, Madhura Gatri, sweet-limbed girl, when will my hair stand on end of ecstasy? When I place a betel leaf with camphor, chatichu, cloves, and guvak into your lotus-like mouth. Notes. In Svarupavesha, Sri Raghunatha Dasa has a wonderful relish of devotional service. Just as a conditioned soul is in Maya, while sleeping, dreaming, and being awake, the devotee is always absorbed in bhajan, while sleeping, dreaming, and being awake. Bhajan means keeping the mind fixed and attracted. The mind should be poured into the Yugala Kishora. Let my mind and body dwell in Radha and Krishna's lotus feet, and let all my material desires go far away.
Radhe, you asked me to support you today, little. So here we can already stop and share a little. But I am also asking Jayananda Maharaj and Gauranga Sundara, Tharun Baba, Suniti to share with us all. So here is said that the mind should be fixed and attracted. So Gurudev explained always why we are chanting. To keep the mind fixed. Prabhupada teaching we should chant 24/7 all the time. Never leave chanting. That the mind always can be fixed in one point. And the mind should be poured into the Yuga Kishora. So in chanting it means that we not just chant mechanically, like a robot or like a machine. Chanting is also called smarana. It's not kirtan. It's part of smarana, meaning that while chanting, we remember. What we remember? We remember the Yuga Lakishore, their forms, their qualities, and their pastime. Rupa, Guna, Lila. And one time I listened like a technique of chanting. Radharani, she has a beautiful braid. And the braid is you take one part of the hair and have a second part, and then you make the braid. So in chanting, that also can mean that on the one side, we put our mind into the mantra. And on the other hand, we put the mantra in our mind. And then we put the mind in the mantra and the mantra in our mind. So making a braid of Radharani while chanting. Yeah. And the mind and the body should dwell in them, in the lotus feet. And then let all my material desires go far away. I learned something about Bhagavad Gita. I listened that bhakti helps us to attach to Radha Mohan. our mind should dwell in the lotus feet of them. But then there's also other part called jnana. And jnana can help us also to detach from material world. But he has written first that our mind and body should dwell in them. So the focus is on our attachment to Radharani. The focus is not to detach from material world. The focus is the attachment to Radharani. But there is a part of knowledge that can help us to detach from material world. That is thinking the second part of the sentence, that let go all material desire. I also remember in Vrindavan there's a famous t-shirt in the market, you can buy that. And there's written, never forget Krishna, always remember Krishna. Maybe many of you, they see that t-shirt before. You can see it on there. And I was thinking, what is meaning of that? Probably is spoken by Prabhupada. And then some thoughts coming to me, I was thinking, the first instruction is never forget Krishna. In our case, Radharani. But not possible for us. If you never forget Radharani, that is a level of rati, strong attachment, or even higher, bhava bhakti. Naturally, your mind is always attached to Radharani. You never forget Radharani. That is the first instruction. But for me and my stage, not possible to do that. So for me, second instruction, always remember Radharani. So I try not to forget, but I forget. So then I remember. I forget again, I remember. So the first instruction is like bhava bhakti. Second instruction is sadhana bhakti. We practice. We try always to remember. And we have strong hope that in the future, we will never forget Radharani. But now our practice is to remember Radharani.
Beautiful. So this Baba mentioned bhajan means keeping the mind fixed and attracted. Already Gaura Chandra explained. And I was reading in Radharasa Snanidhi, and then Anandas Babaji Maharaj said, we are chanting using mala. Mala means ma means wealth. La means giver, giving. So we are chanting. So that wealth is giving or was given. What kind of wealth is there? As this Baba say, let my mind and body dwell in Radha and Mohan's lotus feet. So the Radha Mohan's lotus feet is wealth. Also, bhajan means chanting and meditation. Mantra means also, that is also wealth. Because name of Radha and Mohan is as good as Radha Mohan, or even more merciful than Radha Mohan. So this is Baba explained the essence of our bhajan, and Gaura Chandra explained Bhakti has many principles, many rules and regulations. But Prabhupada, or maybe Rupa Goswami mentioned, all two, every principle is come to these 2 points. Don't forget Krishna and always remember Krishna. Of course, in our case, this Krishna means Radha included. So this Gaura Chandra remind us Bhakti is most important principle. Also, Gurudeva's teaching is same. How to fix mind. One, study Baba. This is very beautiful. Radhe Radhe.
Let my mind and body dwell in Radha and Krishna's lotus feet, and let all my material desires go far away. Shripada Lila Shuka, being attracted to Krishna's sweetness, said in Sri Krishna Karnamrita, may my mind be immersed in the flood of bliss, Sri Krishna, that always increases the ocean of intoxicating sweetness and causes great waves in that ocean, whose cool adolescent dress is a collection of erotic ornaments and whose lovely moon-like face is beautified by a soft smile. Radhe Radhe Gurudev. Nice that you're with us. Thank you. How will the mind ever deviate after it was immersed in an ocean of rasa? Absorption in Swamini's maidservice is even deeper. I am a maidservant of she whose form, qualities, and sweetness defeat even Govindas. What can Maya do to me then, when by continuously performing bhajan, the mind becomes rasika, then the devotee becomes as attached and accustomed to his beloved deity as a conditioned soul is to his wife and children or husband.
Radhe. So, by continuously practicing, the mind will become rasika. Meaning our mind now is not rasika. But how it can become rasika? By sadhu sangha. We need association of rasika Vaishnava. So sometimes we think that we have to see Gurudev and sit with him and listen from him directly. Yes, that is the best. That is important to go Vrindavan and meet Gurudev. Be in this vibration, listen from him. But it's not always possible. So there must be other way also to have association. And we have this good luck that Gurudev inspired the devotees to have this Zoom meeting. This is also sadhu sangha. By reading these books of Anantaras Bhagavan, we have very powerful sangha. We have sangha with Raghunath Das Goswami. It's his feelings, his realizations he shared with us. We have sangha with Anantaras Bhagavan, direct. Also his words, his realizations, his mood is there. It's very important to understand that this is also sadhu sangha. Now, direct, by conscious listening, we have that association. And then there's the process, how the mind will become rasika. The different stages of bhakti, starting with some shraddha and then sadhu sangha. And we start practicing bhakti, bhajana kriya. Then purification will happen, anatas will go, and then our faith is growing, nishta will be there, and then real taste and attachment will come. So then the mind will become rasika, deeply attached now, not going other place anymore. Like a conditioned soul is attached to wife and children. It's natural. It's natural attachment to your child. Mother cannot think outside of the child. So when that stage of real taste and strong attachment is coming, then our mind is rasic. Yeah. Running.
That's why the Goswamis say, we want sasanga bhajan, worship with attachment to the deity. Anasanga bhajan, worship without attachment to the deity, won't do. It is my duty to chant the holy name a fixed number of times. That's why I do it. But I don't relish the sweetness of the name. Mahaprabhu could not even pronounce the word Jagannatha when he was in ecstasy while dancing in the Ratha Yatra. Jaja Gaga, Jaja Gaga, Gadgada Vachana, Chaitam Charitamrita. He was saying Jaja Gaga with faltering voice. Then the Lord relished Pratipadam Punamrita Svadanam, the full nectar at every step. Srila Dasa Goswami has said, "Oh, my tongue, suffering from this thirst, please mix the delicious, fresh, enchanting nectar of the name Radha with the wonderfully sweet condensed milk of the name Krishna. Add the fragrant, delightful eyes of pure, passionate love and drink this charming drink at every moment."
I think here we have a very, very sweet explanation of Mahamantra. The name of Radharani mixed with the name of Krishna, and then add the fragrant, delightful eyes of pure, passionate love. I think this is Rama. You have Hare Krishna and Rama. You have the sweetness of Radharani, and you have Krishna, Hare Krishna, and you have the passionate love of them. And Rama, Gurudev explained, Rameti Ram. They're always together and strongly embraced because of their passionate love for each other. Mahamantra is like this. Maybe you can read again, Mayura Shakti.
That's so sweet. It's cocktail of love. Oh, my tongue, suffering from thirst, please mix a delicious, fresh, enchanting nectar of the name Radha with the wonderfully sweet condensed milk of the name Krishna. Add the fragrant, delightful eyes of pure, passionate love and drink this charming drink at every moment.
It also reminds me of Mahaprabhu. We just listen in front of Jagannath. He cannot even speak out of ecstasy. But in Shri Chakshastakam, he's saying also, oh, second slok, I have no taste for chanting. I'm so unfortunate. Everything is there in the name. Mahaprabhu saying, you invested all your energies inside this name, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. So everything is in the name. Guna, Rupa, Leela, everything is inside of this mantra. The mood is there, but we have no taste. But Mahaprabhu, when he praying like this, also in the fourth sloka, Naranam Najanam Nasundari, I don't want this and that in this world. My only desire is to be your servant, life after life, speaking like a conditioned soul. So his feelings are fake, or is it real? He has that experience thinking of himself like a conditioned soul. Oh, I don't want wealth. I don't want followers. I only want your service. Life after life, birth after birth. If his feelings are real, also in the second sloka, oh, I have no taste. Everything is there, but I have no taste. I'm desperate.
Yes, please.
So
Rati Rati.
he experienced all that. And it's so amazing. In the book of Anantadas Babaji, explaining to us the scriptures, something very beautiful is mentioned about Mahaprabhu. He came down the stairs of mercy, coming to our level, experience himself to be a sadhak, thinking of himself to be a conditioned soul. So then Baba writing something so beautiful that God, he become great when he comes down on the level of a conditioned soul. That makes his godhood great. Like in Vrindavan, he playing like a human being. Gurudev always explained that makes him supreme because he become normal. He come down from being the God. He play like a human being, like a friend, like a son. That makes God great. And in Gaura Lila even more, being like a sadhaka, like a conditioned soul in this world. Amazing. So Anantaras Baba, he so sweet words writing there. Then same time he say, the jiva becomes successful if it becomes divine. No? God becomes success, great, when he become like human. And the conditioned soul become great, Mahatma, Mahatma, when the soul becomes divine. It's like opposite. No? The greatness of God, he become normal. The greatness of the soul become divine. So beautiful. Anantaras Babaji ki jai. Shri Radhe.
Can I little bit add? So Mahaprabhu was saying, I have no taste. And this is, I think this is the mood of Srimati Radharani. Because Radharani say, I don't have any love for Krishna. He has most qualified person. He has Mahabhava, Chintamani. All love come from her. But Radharani is saying, I don't have any love for Krishna. This Radharani, so that means I feel someone who has love, someone who has prema, does not say, oh, I have prema. No. Someone who has prema, no, I don't have any love for Krishna. So this is a nature of Vaishnava. And this humbleness become that person more great. So Mahaprabhu, so Gaurachandra is saying, I don't have any taste, but that is Radha's feeling. And Premika Bhakta has also same feeling. If we see Anantasvaji Maharaj book, he says sometimes, no, I don't have, I'm such fallen condition soul. He was saying sometimes, but that represent his greatness. Sometimes Gurudev say, oh, I don't know anything. I don't have any love, but it shows us his greatness.
The acharyas teach us that we must relish each item of devotion in this way. All other desires, from sense gratification to liberation, are all cheating. As long as such cheating propensities are there can be no pure devotion, let alone Raga Bhakti. Sri Lila Shuka has said in Krishna Kanamrita, O Lord, when our devotion to you becomes firm and fixed, we may be so fortunate to behold your divine adolescent form. Liberation will personally serve us with folded hands and religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification will be waiting for the appropriate time to attend to us. A person in whose heart the splendor of Radharani's toenails awakens is fearless and undisturbed. Renunciation is there in the minds of those who are absorbed in these lotus feet. Everything is wasted for someone whose heart does not carry these lotus feet, but a devotee who accepts the mood of the kinkaris will always experience the vicinity of these lotus feet.
Here we're speaking about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Yeah. And how all these purposes of life are serving to the fifth goal of life, to prema. They become servants of prema, of bhakti. No need for this efforts of being religious. The highest religion is love of God. This is the highest religion. You don't need to practice any other religion. Religion of love. That is our religion. And economic development. By surrendering to Radha Mohan, Krishna and Gita, he promised he take care of his devotee. We know that Radharani will take care of us. If we have desire to serve her, she will take responsibility to maintain us. We don't need independently make an effort for our economic situation. Of course, that is also a process in our faith, that we are maintained. And sense gratification means everybody wants to experience happiness. Why people going for sense gratification? Because they want to enjoy something, want to feel kind of happiness. But now my happiness is inside. I relish the service and the connection with Swami. My material senses are satisfied in the service of Radharani. My spiritual senses become satisfied by serving Radharani. So no need to go independent for karma and moksha. In the service of Radharani, we already are liberated. We don't care about liberation. I care about to be in her service. Like Mahaprabhu praying, birth after birth. I don't care. I stay in samsara. I'm in the spiritual world or material world. I don't care. I only care to be in your service. Prema, love, spiritual love, it's much higher than all the other purposes in life. And by that, Baba writing here, you become fearless and undisturbed. No fear. No money, no problem. Nothing is a problem. If you are happy, inside happy, connected, you relish the sweetness of Radharani's service. Then why to bother about money, about food? I'm sick, okay. We become fearless and undisturbed, and all purposes of life are fulfilled by becoming a dasi of Srimati Radharani. Gauranga Sundara, Tarun Baba, please share also a little.
So I want to little share them. So Bhagavatam mentioned, I think second verse or third verse, Nigama Garpataro Garitam Param. So Bhagavatam mentioned, after finishing Dharma, Artha, Karma, Moksha. That person can taste this Bhagavatam. So means, and Prabhupada mentioned, someone who has no envy, that person can taste. So it seems here Baba also saying, if we want to read, that qualification is indirectly Baba want to say, Dharma, Artha, Karma, Moksha is all cheating, which Gaurachandra saying. For us, conditioned soul, it is very good thing. We want to be good person. We want to be very rich. We want to satisfy our senses. Actually, it seems very good. But here Baba saying, all cheating. Because we cannot attain the lotus feet of Radha Mohan. Just Dharma, Artha, Karma, Moksha. So therefore, Baba saying, as long as such cheating propensity are there can be no pure devotion. Means no pure bhakti. So, and then what to do? We have so much desire, so much bad quality. Then what to do? Again, Shukadeva saying, I think 10th canto, 31st chapter, maybe last part of verse. If we could hear like Rasa Lila or like Rasa Pancha from Rashka Vaishnava, means if we could hear from Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, Vilapa Kusumanjali, from Rashka Vaishnava, like Gurudev, then slowly, this Baba enter, or Baba infuse our heart. And such Rashka Vaishnava's power, this, so Gaurachandra saying just a few minutes ago, we are associating Raghunath Das Goswami words. Or we are associating Anandas Babaji Maharaj words. Their word is Mahabani, golden words. We hope these words purify us and penetrating this Baba or infuse this Baba into our heart. So this Baba's word is really Mahabani. That's I am feeling. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. I just wanted to add, I'm sorry, forgive me, but I'm not, I like what Gaurachandra was saying, but I have to say quite honestly, for some of us, I can at least speak only for me. It's wonderful for those who are safe and, don't have to work or not have a full job or can use all the time in bhajan, but honestly speaking, it's not for all of us. So I think it's nothing wrong with having full-time job and dedicating all the extra time and all the time for bhajan, and doing an honest job is also very important. So Krishna said to Arjuna, your duty is to fight. So I am happy for those who have no more duty in this world and who are free to do whatever they like. And I understand that finally and lastly, it's the mercy of Swamini, and we should always depend on Swamini. But for us, at least I can say the reality looks a little bit different. So I have bills to pay. I have to work my job. I have to do some things in the material world. And the mission is to see this in the right context, to know that whatever comes to me is the mercy of Swamini, even if I do my daily job and I earn my money, not to be attached to that money and to somehow use it also in Krishna's service. But I just wanted to say this is very important also, that many of us have a regular life and, we have our duties also. I cannot sit down tomorrow morning and say, okay, I'm not going to school. I now fully depend on Swamini. So let's see what my school says then. If I stay at home for 2 weeks and say, okay, I fully depend on Swamini, I don't need to work. I fulfill my duty. So it's not, I just wanted to say, please don't misunderstand me. It's not so easy. You know what I mean? So I think it is a balance between those who have achieved that beautiful goal, not having any duties anymore in this material world. Hooray, and all glories to that. But some of us are still there. And at one time, we will also be free from our duty. But honestly speaking, I like my job and I like to be with the kids and I like to teach, but it is important to see it in the right context. My Gurudev never told me to stop working and to give up everything. So he said the consciousness is very important. You always see yourself as a servant of Swamini, even if I teach third graders, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, as an example of from my position. I just wanted to add that. I'm sorry if I say something wrong. Jai Radhe.
Everything fine, Tarun. You see, Sadhu Maharaj, Gurudev, no one else teaching like him that we have to be balanced and material. This is foundation. When I was connected with ISKCON, I listened many times, give up everything, everything is Maya, just surrender like this. Gurudev totally opposite, always teaching us. You have to balance material life. You have to take your responsibility and be a normal person in this world. But keep the goal in the mind. No? That is the goal. When I listen about Leela of Srivas Thakur, Mahaprabhu coming to him, asking him, my dear Srivas, I have one question. You have a big family. How you maintain that? And he make like this 3 times, no? Mahaprabhu, yeah, what is meaning? And Srivas explained, oh, I'm only doing my bhajan. I'm only chanting. So one day there's no food. I'm thinking, oh, today Krishna wants that I'm fasting. Very good. So then after 2 days, no food coming. And I'm thinking, oh, today Krishna wants to give me special mercy. Not only 1 day fasting, 2 days fast. So then 3 times, then Srivas think, oh, maybe Krishna don't want to give me food. So I will jump in the Ganga and die. I should die now. Then Mahaprabhu stopped him and said, no. You have so much faith. You will never become poor. Lakshmi will become poor maybe in the future, but you never will become poor. I will keep you. I will maintain you because you have so much faith and so much trust. Of course, this is not our level, but it's good to listen the examples of the great souls who are fully surrendered and how Krishna, how Radharani take responsibility to give everything what they need. But that is the ideal, no? That is the goal. But we have to see where we are and do our normal life, maintain ourselves, being normal in this world. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Also, like many of Mahaprabhu's associates, also Grihastha, and even single person, like Korobecha Sridhara, they are every day, they are selling some kind of banana leaves, made some cups or something. And then little bit money he made it. And he worship Ganga and the Shalagram and etc. Even Ramanandaya was kind of, big person, like, in English, beyond the mayor, like a very big kind of magistrate. I don't know what you say in English, big person who can manage all the area. So, but, so he was working many years. I don't know how many, but his case is different. His case was Mahaprabhu requested him, please live with me and we can discuss Harikatha. And then he consulted Prataparudra Maharaj, and then Prataparudra Maharaj gave some money to do this. After retirement, usually company gave quite a big money. So this kind of money Ramananda got from Prataparudra Maharaj. So, and he did. Every person and every person has a different, and Tarun Baba is saying is right. We have to do our duty. And if Radharani give us some mercy, we can have more time for bhajan. But actually, bhajan means consciousness. Tarun Baba is saying right. Bhajan is consciousness. So whatever we do, if we don't forget, we are Radha Dasi. If we stay in our Swarupa consciousness, then whatever we do is spiritual. And so most of us, we have to do some duty in this material world. Even I remember Gopala Bhatta Goswami want to join Mahaprabhu, but I think Gopala Bhatta or maybe Raghunath Bhatta, but his parents also devotee and very old, and Mahaprabhu told him, please take care your parents, because your parents is devotee. Please take care. And after take care and the duty finished, then please join me. Like Mahaprabhu saying. So Tarun Baba remind us our duty in this material world, and Gaura Chandra remind us Gurudev's teaching how to balance in this material world to remember we are Radha Dasi, or we are servant of Radha Mohan. Thank you very much.
Gauravani, please share.
Yeah, our Gauravani is waiting.
Radhe Radhe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I was just thinking about a story which happened last time when we fly back from Vrindavan, and the impact actually Gurudev's teachings have. Also, he was not there in this moment. We met a person at the airport. It was a monk. It was a monk from Buddhism. And we were talking shortly because we met on a shop where you could get some coffee. So we were talking a little bit. And then he was talking about renouncement, a bhajan, which is meant for renounce. And after some time, I just said, bhajan is to develop attachment, not detachment. And he was completely surprised. He was shocked. He was completely shocked and looking in our face if we mean that really, it's really? He said that? And he's not laughing? And then after a moment, he was like thinking shortly and, yes, this is the perfect point. The whole world is talking about renouncement. We need attachment. Yes. And in this moment, we had new friends at the airport. And he was searching for the bread, for the Buddhist bread, and wanted to share that bread with us, actually. And then we took some prasadam and we shared. So it was just a little story I remembered when you were just exchanging here. So here it's a whole spiritual world now. Devotees come and go, and it's an amazing, inspiring vibration here. So, thank you very much for sharing. Jai Shri Radhe.
Wonderful to listen to all of you. Perhaps we can get some nectar drops from Vrindavan. Radhe Radhe. Gurudev, you want to share something with us? I just try.
Gurudev is relishing the reading and would like you to continue.
I repeat the last beautiful sentence we read. Renunciation is there in the minds of those who are absorbed in these lotus feet. Everything is wasted for someone whose heart does not carry these lotus feet, but a devotee who accepts the mood of the kinkaris will always experience the vicinity of these lotus feet. How blissful it is to even think I am close to her. Swamini has received the nectar of Krishna's lips. The jokes of her sakis crystallize the sweetness of their savor. Tulasi seats Swamini on a stool and washes her mouth. Swamini then holds court with her sakis while a jeweled wick is burning. Tulasi then comes and stands before Swamini, carrying a jeweled plate with a self-made betel leaf containing cardamom, ground chatechu, nutmeg, areca nuts, camphor, and cloves. Swamini is absorbed in talking about Shyama with her girlfriends. Tulasi attracts her attention by calling her Madhura Gatri, sweet-limbed girl. When is she Madhura Gatri for the kinkaris? When she is with Shyama. Nothing is as sweet as that. Why is the betel leaf called Param or best? There is a secret in that. Tulasi has secretly mixed some of Shyama's leftover pan in it that she had discreetly received from Dhanishta when she was at Nadishvara earlier in the evening. Dhanishta knows what is on Swamini's mind. Therefore, she has given these betel leaves to Tulasi. When Swamini catches the fragrance of this pan, she becomes enchanted and possessed with greed. The pan chewed by Madana Mohana is even sweeter than nectar, and its scent increases the desire of Swamini's tongue. In Govinda Lilamrita, it's written, O Saki, Madana Mohana increases the yearnings of my tongue with his nicely chewed betel leaves that defeat the sweetness of nectar. From Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 16. I cannot describe the value of the betel leaves that were chewed by Krishna. They are also most proud of being called the essence of nectar and being able to use the gopis' mouths as spittoons. This pan is the greatest elixir. When Swamini smells it, she becomes overwhelmed. It is as if Shyama Sundara has appeared in person. Looking at Swamini, it seems as if she sits there with someone else, hugged against somebody, Krishna. How sweet, how beautiful, how splendid, It is the Bhava service of Bhava Mai by the Bhava Kinkari in the kingdom of Bhava. Without Bhava, this cannot be grasped. The great composer of the Rasa Shastras, Maharishi Bharata Muni, has written, when Bhava becomes mature, it attains Rasa Rupata, a form of Rasa. Bhava is understood to mean Manovritti or mentality. There are two kinds of faculties of the mind.
Here, I think it is also very, very important to understand here why the betel leaves are so much praised. And I think also, like I was speaking with Gurudev yesterday, the superiority and the very special position of the manjaris again is here nicely shown, because quite honestly, only they know why the betel leaves are so special to Swamini, because like we heard now from Baba, that they contain already the prasadam of the Supreme Lord, of her beloved. So Swamini, when she eats these betel leaves, it is as would their lips touch each other. So when Swamini is eating these betel leaves, it's like she is kissing Krishna. So therefore, this is so much. Therefore, it's called the greatest and the highest. So that's the secret in these betel leaves. And I think there's only this secret only know the manjaris. And this is again the beautiful position, again our supreme fortune to hear this and to listen this, because who else knows what is really there in the betel leaves, which is Radharani chewing. She is not chewing leftovers, that there are lying some betel leaves. No. The manjaris, they mixed in already, chewed from Krishna, so that again their lips can meet. So this is a great secret only the manjaris know, and now by the grace of Baba and Gurudev we know.
Jai Ho. Now here in the Leela, Swamini not even eat it. Not yet. She just smelled it and already going mad. No? Going like in a swan. No? Like she feels already so close to him, she leaning to him, but he is not there. No, it looks like she leaning on him.
So the smell is bringing Krishna there. So we can imagine how powerful the spiritual world is. Only the smell of Krishna's mouth, of his lips, are making like a cinema, are making like a vision to Swamini, as Krishna is already there. So the smell, that is what is called when you realize, you hear Krishna, you see Krishna, and you smell him. First is Rupa, and then he comes to you. You can see him. You can see him from afar, and then you can smell. So all these items are so powerful that we cannot even understand. We can understand powerful smells in the material world, yes, but here we can see that the smell of Krishna's lips it's just chewed leftovers from Krishna. It's actually Krishna prasadam is so powerful for Swamini that she already sees him. And why? The interesting point is also, why is she able to see him? Because she is the personification of Mahabhav. She has Madanakya Mahabhav. So everything which is reminding her of the Lord is making her in ecstasy. So what if she is in ecstasy when she sees black trees? So we can imagine how much an ecstasy is when she smells leftovers from Krishna's mouth. So this is extremely powerful.
And I want to add something more. You explained so nice the extraordinary position of the Manjari. Before we are reading that Tulasi Manjari calls her, sweet limp girl. No? When Radharani become sweet limp girl for the kingdom, when she is together with Chant. So that also only the Manjaris can experience, because only in the Nikunja her limbs become visible, and only in the Nikunja Nivritti Nikunja. The Manjaris can be there. Sakis cannot be there. Usually Radharani, she is pious? No. Koish? What is koish? In English? Koish? Chaste.
Chaste.
Is rarely to see her feet, is covered by the skirt. She wearing a veil around and cover her hair most of the time. No other male can see her like this, looking down when she is moving in Vrindavan. But when she is going in the Kunja, she open more. But in the Nivritti Nikunja, her limbs become visible. But only Manjaris can see them when she is with Shiva. Extraordinary position of the Manjari. You explain. Radhe.
It is the Bhava service of Bhava Mai by the Bhava Kinkari in the kingdom of Bhava. Without Bhava, this cannot be grasped. The great composer of the Rasa Shastras, Maharishi Bharata Muni, has written, when Bhava becomes mature, it attains Rasa Rupata, a form of rasa. Bhava is understood to mean manovritti. Oh, sorry, I'm repeating too much. Or mentality. I just continue, sorry. There are two kinds of faculties of the mind.
This is a good point. My Yoga Shakti is so nice that you repeat that point, because there's one more. There's one more point in this line. You see, when bhava is maturing, it becomes form. So the feeling we have, like in Sadhakadeha, when we move to the stage of bhav, the spiritual form, the Siddhadeha, becomes visible. So here, Baba is saying that when bhava matures, it becomes a form, bhava rupata, it becomes a form of bhav. So this is also our spiritual body. Right now, I cannot see and realize my spiritual body, but if bhav matures, that means if my realization or if my journey comes to that point when I reach the stage of bhav, I constantly live as my spiritual body. It becomes a form and I can realize it and see it. In fact, really see it. So there are many levels of what Baba is writing, and this is one of those levels. When Baba matures, we can experience nicely our spiritual body, but not, this is, it must mature. That means we prolong our way of bhakti, our Raganuga sadhana by the mercy of Gurudev, and when our bhav matures, we realize our Siddhadeha. This is also a very deep point in that line. I'm glad that you repeat it.
Bhava is understood to mean manovritti or mentality. There are two kinds of faculties of the mind, the manifest and the unmanifest. When the manifest thoughts dwell in the mind, it is called manovritti. And when the unmanifest thoughts are there, it is called samskara, vasana, bhava, or bhavana. When this devotional samskara takes a place in the heart by the grace of the saints, all will be understood, experienced, and relished.
Radhe. Honestly, I try to understand it. I was reading them 2 times, 3 times. I not clearly understood. But I can give one idea, but I'm asking for better explanation of the subject. Like Tarun Baba said, this is very important subject. I'm also agree, very good that you repeat that, Maya Shakti. So there are 2 kind of faculties of the mind. One is manifest and unmanifest. So the manifest is called manovritti. I understand like that. That is our conscious thoughts. That is what we are aware of, what is going on in our minds. And then there's something deeper, unmanifested, like our bhava, our mood, our motivation. It looks to me, this is like more the foundation. If I'm a greedy person, if my foundation is greed in life, then my thoughts will be thinking of how to get something, how to enjoy something, this and that. But the unmanifested attitude, my foundation, my mood, my approach is the foundation of what is going on in my manovritti, in my conscious process of thinking, desiring, and this and that. So the unmanifest, the foundation, the deeper thing is called samskara or bhava. So we have sometimes from previous life a samskara or deep impression in our hearts already for devotional service or for bhakti, or a mood of service. So coming from that foundation, our manifest thoughts, processing, thinking, everything going around or connected with our foundational or deeper mood. So Baba writing here, when the bhava, the samskaras in our mind become mature, deepen, our mood is fixed, the sthai bhava is coming, then we can experience and relish. And also in the manifested faculty of the mind, our thinking, desiring, doing this and that, it's also connected with this deeper thing. Everything goes around how to serve Radharani, always thinking what I can do, what I can serve. So that is my understanding, but it came something after 3-4 times of reading. I'm asking for a better explanation.
Mayoka Shakti, please read what Baba is giving the explanation. Maybe the last or the last before sentence, Baba is saying, can you read again? He's saying that I think he's giving the answer there already.
So you want that I repeat or that I go on?
No, repeat. Maybe last or one before last. Let me hear.
Yeah. Bhava is understood to mean manovritti or mentality.
Mm-hmm.
There are two kinds of faculties of the mind, the manifest and the unmanifest. When the manifest thoughts dwell in the mind, it is called manovritti. And when the unmanifest thoughts are there, it is called samskara, vasana, bhava, or bhavana. When this devotional samskara takes a place in the heart by the grace of the saints, all will be understood, experienced, and realized.
There you have it. So there you have it. There is the answer. This is the easy answer. It's all like we're always saying, all is by kripa. So this has to take place in the heart. This process, this unmanifest process has to take place in the heart by the kripa of the saints. It's no other way, no other way, no other way. We cannot do it on our own. It will never take place in our heart on our own. Baba is clearly saying here, this can only take place in the heart by the grace, that means the kripa of the saints. And this is Guru Shastra. This is what everyone is saying. This can only manifest. The manifest thought is there, but the unmanifest bhav can only be manifested in the heart in a descending process coming down from parampara, from the lotus feet of the saints, in our case, of our Gurudev and your Gurudev. Otherwise, like Gurudev is always saying, this one verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, no effort, I don't know the Bangla words, but no effort can be there. You know, we always have to depend on the grace. We can do sadhana as much as we like, but without the kripa, it will not yield fruits. And here Baba is giving, I just wanted to hear this sentence. Baba is saying, it can only be placed in the heart by the grace of the saints.
Maybe I can say something in this connection. Actually, all mentality, material mentality and spiritual mentality, Manavri, depends on Sangha. Which kind of Sangha we have in our present life or we had in the previous lives, this kind of mentality is stacking on our subtle body or mind, even heart. We say chitta. Yeah. So, like Baba is saying, and Gaurachandra and Tarun emphasizes this, that actually mentality depends, spiritual mentality. Spiritual mentality depends on the association of sadhus. And for that, we need that association to develop our mentality. But also this kind of mentality is specific mental culture, which is also, if it's spiritual, under the influence of spiritual association, that this mentality is like a mental culture, and this mental culture is something which helps, which is the sign of spiritual eagerness. In material life is the same thing. If we are under the influence of strong materialistic persons, strong materialistic values in the life, we build mental culture. And this is desire. Desire is something which brings and build mental culture or mentality. So in both cases, this Sangha is important and also emotions are very important. Because if my emotions doesn't react on something, my mind will not create mentality for that. But if my emotions are very attached for material or for spiritual, then mentality will be created automatically in my mind and in my heart. So this deep connection, tight connection, we can say, between emotions and association builds mentality which is suitable for fulfilling our material desires or eagerness, or to fulfill our subtle spiritual desires. And it's very interesting that these spiritual desires, Baba is saying here, is unmanifested. They are deeply rooted in the heart, impressed in the heart, like samskaras. And suddenly when devotee or person, not devotee, person hears something about Krishna consciousness in general way, he feels attraction. This attraction is the sign of samskara, which is the result of impression from the heart of saintly person in this life, or maybe who knows when, in which life. So this, for me, it's somehow important that we always should be aware with whom we are associate, because this association creates our mentality or manovrit. So I just wanted to.
Yeah, this is a wonderful point. Thank you so much. Very important point.
Yeah, I agree also. Very nice. You also can see on that point, if it's not connected with the heart, if we don't get deep impressions if we don't get deep samskaras from a Rasika Vaishnava, maybe we can build up a mentality of being devotee, but it will be artificial over time. We will build up a mentality of following rules and regulation, but if the impressions of the great saints of Gurudev not reaching our heart, then everything will be artificial only. That's my opinion.
Tulasi attracts Swamini's attention because now she is in the kingdom of Lila. Where has her mind gone? The Sakis know it, and Swamini speaks with them in that mood. That's why the word Vaktrambuya is used here in the text. A speaker is called Vaktra. Tulasi calls out Ai Madhura Gatri, calling Swamini back to reality. And Swamini, who is greedy after their fragrance, eagerly stretches out her hand to grab the betel leaves from her jeweled plate. What a wonderful expertise in devotional service. Swamini has stopped speaking with her Sakis just to put my betel leaves in her mouth. As soon as Tulasi offers the betel leaves, she cannot see Swamini's mouth anymore. The transcendental revelation disappears from Srila Raghunatha Dasa, and he laments out of great grief from Sri Haripada Shila. O sweet-formed Radhe, O young adolescent girl, your maidservant has goose pimples of ecstasy on her skin when she offers betel leaves with camphor to your lotus mouth. When can I serve you in this way when the time is right? Here ends the verse 52. And I just repeat the verse. O Madhura Gatri, sweet-limbed girl, when will my hair stand on end of ecstasy? When I place a betel leaf with camphor, chatishu, cloves, and guvak into your lotus-like mouth. Gurudev, some sweet words from you in the end, please.
Radhe, now Gurudev has some guests, but he's thinking of you and listening. Radhe.
Thank you all so much for this beautiful sharing. Please, but if somebody wants to give some more drops, please.
I have to say again that I like so much this point from our dear Gora Sundara from really, really, this is such an important point. We can all realize, he says, materially and spiritually, whom we associate with is doing the impressions in our mind. And this is always when Rupa Goswami is writing this, I so many times said about that verse, this Sachati and Snikta Sangha is utmost important. So we really need not just any Sangha, we need the attributes are there, adjective in German. There are two attributes of our Sangha, Sachati and Snikta. So everybody of us, we know how it feels when you associate with someone and you feel not good afterwards. That was not a Snikta association and also not a Sachati. So what means Sachati? Sachati means associate with those who have the same direction of your life. This means materially. You cannot, if you want to study for lawyer, it's not really helpful if you associate with doctors. So in the spiritual world, it's the same. If you want to have association in the Sachati, that means you should be like us here now. We are all moving in the same direction to become Kinkaris of Swamini. So this is Sachati Sangha. And then there is one more, even more important point, because the first one is clear. Now we have the first check, check Sachati, we have to be checked. So this is the same direction. But also we should have association of those who love us and we love them. And they should be loving. So not harsh, not rude, not condescending, not energy stealing. So this is the very, very important point. Snikta means those who are of a loving nature, and you feel that. When you associate with these persons, you feel wonderful afterwards. You don't feel bereft of your energy. You feel wonderful. So Snikta means those who are always there for your well-being, who give you very much well-being and energy and love. So these two kinds is so much important in spiritual life, that we have this, that, you know, even your partner, your brother, and in the spiritual family, this Sachati thing, this stai bhav, we all should have the same direction. And another point, loving, this loving association, respectful, and in a loving attitude, not competition, not conflict. So Rupa Goswami, you know, he is always using his words. You know, he is empowered by Mahaprabhu. He always uses his words very, very, very consciously. So he uses these two words for our benefit for all time. So this is like a huge rule when you talk about sadhu sangha. These 2 points, they must be there, otherwise it's not helpful. So we are happy. I am happy that I can associate with people who are on the same way and who are loving, and this is our good fortune. This is so important. Jai Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govinda.